Hello and welcome to the fourth day, I believe, of the week of pressure. So last time we got humbled a little bit about our meaties and our roll chasing. So interestingly, I obviously went to training mode after that to get some practice in, and discovered that reacting to rolls in this game is basically exactly the same as tech chasing in Smash Brothers. So about, I don't know, 2 minutes into my 30 minutes of training, I kind of realized that I was practicing something that I've been doing, that I've practiced for like literally hundreds of hours. So always room to be humbled. I think that our opponent, alright, is doing some stuff. I think we'll give them a little bit. We'll definitely meaty them and stuff, but we'll give them a little bit of room to play around. Because it appears that they are still kind of learning how to play the game and what buttons to push and that kind of thing. Oh, Ashley blocked that. I'm impressed. Are they going to use any of that magic that they just spent a bunch of time to get? Nice, good anti-air. I'm just going to throw out big buttons. Because every time that I'm jumping, I'm baiting the anti-air. Even if I'm not anywhere close to in range of the anti-air. She hasn't thrown a fireball. There we go. I don't ask for much. Throw a fireball. Alright. So you can see there, against a player that isn't quite as good yet, we can definitely do some different types of pressure. We'll try to do some meaties and some roll chases because that's one of the things we wanted to work on. So let's see which way they roll. We'll just cover the middle. Alright, that's a meaty. So they woke up, they didn't immediately block, we punished them for it. I thought that was gonna work. Oh, nice. Yeah, see, there's little things, though, that are different, like that hard knockdown, that doesn't exist in Smash Brothers. You always have to fall the same way, so it's a little bit different. We will punish them for just trying to read like that when it's not really their turn to read. There you go, nice. See, they've got meter there, so they can, if we had less health, it would be more of a threat, obviously. From that position, it's a good answer still to the fireball pressure, but really it's just a waste of a meter at that point in time. But yeah, there's always time to be humbled and room to grow, and we'll have to see if we get some more matches. I'll just talk if we don't today, because I wanted to talk about that. So I'll definitely be talking about mentality more in like a side notes or something here eventually, but just to talk about it here, I know that a lot of people are like, oh man, I'm so bad, and like I feel like it's more like they're doing that as like an excuse to give up or why they haven't tried yet or that kind of a thing, right? Like, obviously, I looked at what I was doing and I was like, wow, I'm missing a meaty that I know I've practiced before. I get it against my friend all the time, and I just wasn't getting it that day. Sometimes you have bad days. It just happens. And I'm missing a roll chase that's exactly the same as a tech chase. Oh, look, we're the only people. I'll try to be even nicer if I can. I'm still going to meaty you, though. Meaty and rolls. Honestly, this is good. This is good practice, right? If we can just chase the rolls and do meaties and not be doing anything crazy or special, that's plenty good enough for today, obviously. I want to do all this stuff. Like, my goal is obviously, during these days, is to push myself to try to do stuff that I'm not good at and sort of like add things to my autopilot that make it so that I don't have to put them on my mental stack, right? Because that way I can think about these options and be like, oh, I want to go for the overhead reset when I get a hit, and I'll just be able to do it. And it won't be like me fighting against the buttons to get the reset. I'll just go for it, and it'll work or it won't. So, we'll have to see. Unfortunately, our opponent is now playing a character We're just meaty. That requires a little bit more respect, but... Oh, yep. Look at that. Oh, no. And they tried to push a button when it wasn't their turn. Not really a meaty, but... Oh, that was poor. Nice. They saw the opening, they ran up, they got the hit. That was good play, even though it didn't work. There, we just kind of got out of the range. You can do that against the cow. You can see we threaten a space here that the cow has a really hard time doing anything about. Oh, okay, we got a little too far back, and we got snatched. I think that was a grab attempt, or maybe a launcher that we ducked under. But, yeah, you can see that as long as we stay, like, out of rope range, we put Arizona into a spot where she doesn't have a lot of good answers to what we're doing. Unless we just, you know, give it to her, and then, I guess... Oh, and we missed our combo. Alright, nice. Jump, yep. We won't go to Fred, that doesn't seem necessary. But now we're going to do full screen pressure. Our opponent doesn't have magic, our opponent doesn't have meter, our opponent doesn't have a fireball. They've got to deal with this somehow. Jump, jump. You know you want to. And they're just going into the launcher too quickly. They need to go into sweep or something there to keep it safe, or like threaten me with stomps. So they basically have a significantly higher problem that we are having, right? Their issue is they don't even have like a basic pressure string yet, and while we do have some of those, we don't have the more advanced ones that we want. So we are just sort of trying to get into better mindsets, right? Like against the cow, against Arizona, we can try to stay within rope range, but outside of all of her normals range. And she's got the ground quakes, and that can be a problem, but it's still pretty tough for her to do anything there, because the ground quakes, I believe, are all minus, and if we block those and we're out of the rope range, she doesn't really have good answers to that, right? She kind of just has to stop and then deal with pressure again, or she has to go for some crazy, like, super frame trap or something like that. And it just puts us into a really good situation, especially if she doesn't have meter and doesn't have magic and doesn't have those things that give us a big threat. So, as you can see, we're doing a little bit better about getting the meaties or being outside of the range of stuff. Obviously, we couldn't do that with a Velvet 5C, and I think that I had gotten a little lazy because Oleander can just stand out of the range of like so many characters' buttons that I could kind of just throw out meaties that weren't really meaty, and they would still just hit people pushing buttons. So I needed to tighten that up, and that showed me something. So, you know, if you're going to say, oh man, I'm not good at this, that's fine. You just got to be like, and now I'm going to get better at it. We'll shorten this combo and just get magic instead. We're just going to throw fireballs. See if our opponent... deals with that. And yeah, you can see that I take advantage of this spacing pressure a lot here. I love the spacing pressure. We're gonna just put her out of her misery here. Alright, new round. So our opponent does not know how to deal with spacing pressure, so we'll probably stop doing it. Now normally, obviously, ooh, nice! The backdash kept me inside of rope range. But now, if you're going to block that, I'm going to get through rope range. Oh, wow. So we'll just chase her down here and try to teach the don't push buttons on wake up. Alright, see, we still need practice. I think that was actually slow. We just spooked our opponent. So we'll do it again. And I think we just get the KO here. We'll just go to the next game if they might be resigned to the fact that I'm the only other person on casuals right now. I'm kind of beating them pretty badly, unfortunately, because practicing pressure against a new player it looks like this. So I'm even trying to be nice, right? If they block the meaty wake up, I wasn't gonna go for anything too nuts. I was just gonna go for stuff into sweep, into fireball, and then unfortunately that puts her at a range where she doesn't know what to do yet. But this is how you learn. I mean, she's got to try stuff. That's one of the problems, right? It's like, oh man, I'm so bad at this. But like, you got to try stuff there, right? If you just throw out stomp, that's probably just going to hit me, right? Like, I'm not ready for that. You haven't done it yet. I haven't played enough Arizonas in my life to be ready for the stomp and be ready for, whatever punish or plus frames I'm going to get after I block the double stomp. So it's just one of those things where you gotta just keep practicing, keep going for stuff. Okay, new opponent. This is a lot of ping. We'll see how this goes. There's definitely going to be some rollback. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about a little tiny bit of mentality and stuff. There's a lot of things, like I said earlier in the week, there's just so many things. We're getting to a point now where, like, I still need to work on pressure. It's obviously, of the three basic mechanical, parts of the game, which is, like, offense, defense, and neutral, I believe that offense is my weakest by quite a bit. Just because the offense doesn't translate very well, but neutral does, and defense to a degree does from like Smash Brothers and stuff. So like, I come from a game where when you hit somebody's shield, you are like minus probably 90% of the time, and the only way that you get pressure out of it is pretty much because your opponent is in a space where they can't. We'll just practice instant blocking. I don't care. I wanted to instant block that too. Now, in the Oleander versus Oleander fight, you don't really get to do the jab mix-up that I was showing because Oleander's jab is just as good, so you can't do that. Oh, and there was a techable frame there. We're just gonna... Okay, I wanted to try to instant block that. We'll just throw a fireball. Oh. Okay, we'll just throw a fireball. Throw some more fireballs. We have meter. We will happily sit here and do this. Fireball doesn't even kill us if they manage to get it, which they aren't going to. We definitely gave that player some chances to do stuff that we didn't have to, but that's okay. Our pressure across the screen was still enough that they couldn't like get to the super that they wanted to in time. And now they've got to deal with this. Oh, and we did push a button there. I wasn't sure if it had come out before. Huh? And we're throwing slow fireballs when we don't need to. We could make it much harder for our opponent to read. I do still need to practice the aerial fireballs. Huh? So, we might just be practicing fireball pressure. Bonk. Wake up super? Mm-hmm. Alright. And we went for the absolute guard there, just in case there was an actual mix-up. We'll just block. Alright. We were able to take that. Our fireball pressure is a little bit better, just because we're better at weaving our supers and our magic in from full screen than our opponent is. And this is still a pressure that we need to work on. And this opponent is also done. Oh, nope, they're just switching characters. Alright, we'll do one more. Yeah, and one of the other big things that's going on right now is I was able to confirm with the stick position feature in training mode that my joystick is in fact sticking. So if I try to do like the down motion for Arizona's teleport, sometimes it's just not working. We'll just back off here. What are you gonna do? Oh, I thought we were gonna catch that block or jumping, so I was jumping there, and it didn't quite work out. Just push you away and throw fireballs, and just be like, "What are you gonna do?" Oh, and we still need to work on that pressure as well. Buffering is an important pressure aspect that we are not good at yet. And we just disrespected our opponent's meaties there. And I was just going for chip. But yeah, I'm using D-pad now, and that's another thing that you got to think about is like I'm trying to learn a brand new motion set now with D-pads instead of just using the joystick, which is what I'm used to. Oh, that's going to hit me. Fair enough. Not a big deal. Our opponent doesn't get much off of that when it's just raw super in the middle of the screen. They can't even really get like a big... Yeah, it's just resets to neutral. We're fine with that. Alright. Oh, okay, I thought I was blocking. Nope, and that is unfortunately a plus move that was not instant blocked. So we just get to keep pressuring there, and our opponent tried to throw out a rope, which was definitely wrong. I think they might have been trying to mash a different button, and they're just like getting buttons confused because they're new. That's pretty common. But yeah, we're trying to work with D-pad now, and there are things that I'm having troubles with. In fact, some of the things that I was talking about with like training on both sides, that's where that came from, is I had to learn D-pad, and I was not great at D-pad. I was missing a lot of jump forwards, and I was just getting jump straight ups. I was missing some fireballs. And we actually remembered about the hard knockdown this time. Hey. Nope, and we were just too far away on that. So let's go for a meaty. And we'll just back off and... Yeah, it's just really tough for Arizona to do anything from that spacing, right? Because... I mean, I'm sure Stomp is good, and it should probably be getting used more in that situation, but I believe it's also a pretty significant risk. She can cancel it really only if she's got meter. We were a little slow on that punish. Fortunately, our opponent tried to jab after blocked super, and that did not work out very well. Also, they're ending their pressure very consistently, so on defense, we are not having too much trouble figuring out when we can push a button. Oh, it's gonna hit us. That's fine. We just backed off there. The obvious approach is obvious. And we'll just read. I actually should probably do the full anti-air combo because I'm not good at it. But, yeah. We're doing all right now. I mean, even though we're sort of taking it easy, we're getting more of the meaties. We're checking rolls. Just, you know, take a step back, breathe, be a little more humble about where we are and what we need to do to improve. And today it was just meaties and rolls. And I will get back to trying to do those cool resets and stuff because I do want to put them in part of my game. But obviously, got a little ahead of myself. And I think I've done a good job of fixing that. So we'll get back to our regularly scheduled trying to do harder things that are just out of my reach next time. And I hope to see you there.